Welcome back to the myth-busting locksmith, and the first in the series of how important the right lock in the right environment is. Now, the first and most common mistake everybody makes is to think that something large or heavy or big or chunky or all of the above is going to be much better than something small and neat and lighter and tidy. Unfortunately, this is entirely wrong, and one of the most important things to look at when looking at a lock or a padlock is the cut of the key, because the cut of the key ultimately will define how hard it is to pick or bump or bypass. So as promised, I have covered up the name of the lock, so I cannot advertise brands that are not up to what I would think is my standard, because that would be unfair. But of course I will give positive feedback if the locks are particularly good. Now, if you remember on one of the previous videos, there is one entitled £18 from Amazon will slow down a burglar for 4 seconds. This padlock, or in fact a shackle lock, weighs 1.1 kilograms. You can buy it from Amazon for £18. It's big, it's heavy, and if you dropped it on your foot, you would know about it very fast. Now, the first thing that I do not like about this padlock is the fact that there is movement here. There is too much movement on the spring element, and I think that is a design flaw. The other thing, of course, is when you look at it, it's very large, it's very heavy, it's square, and it's solid. You have absolutely no chance of cutting this shackle here, because if it is placed correctly on somewhere like a shipping container or a place where you cannot see the shackle, this would be entirely hidden and you would not be able to cut it at all. You would not be able to drill here because you would not know where to drill. Here would be no good. And of course, this would be your only point of attack. Now, when I found this padlock, I found these on large heavy metal gates that were protecting a huge expanse of wasteland that was formerly a car park and then was used by travellers and gypsies to drive in, dump all their rubbish, dump all their nonsense and drive away. And unfortunately, they were calling their friends from all over the country to come and empty out whatever it is they had to get rid of because they couldn't be bothered to take it to the correct place and actually pay money to do it. No surprises there. So I went out and bought one, and I was very impressed. I thought, it's very heavy. In fact, 1.1 kilograms is very heavy. It's solid, it's nicely made, it's big, and it's chunky. But unfortunately, you will see on the other video, 4.5 seconds is all it took me to pick it straight out of the box. Now, the first thing to point out is look at the size of that keyway, or the keyhole. It is very wide and very long. This is the worst thing you could possibly have, because that means you can get almost anything you like into that hole to pick it. The other thing you need to point out here is the depth of the cut of the key. As you can see here, it is very shallow. You have a couple just at the end here, quite deep and quite deep. But when you actually look at the key itself, there is absolutely no depth whatsoever. So a complete fail from the outset. What you do want to find is a key that has a much deeper cut. Now, something like this is also very, very shallow and has one deep one. And in fact, this is on a different lock that I managed to pick in about 15 seconds. Because as you can see, there is absolutely no depth whatsoever, which means you could put anything in the keyhole and you are most likely to pick it. So, unfortunately, big, heavy, and stuck to the ground, although well placed on very large metal gates, and the shackle was completely covered. I found 4.5 seconds max, you're going to be able to pick this. And what is worse is because of the design and the keyway, it's not waterproof, it's not rust proof, it's not corrosion proof. I saw these up for 6 weeks in the rain through the winter, and they started to rust and corrode inside. So unfortunately, an absolute fail. Thank you for watching, and please return back when we go to the next video, number 2, where we will look at a cable lock designed for securing your bike or motorbike. Thank you for watching, and as always, if you like what you see, please hit the like button, and I know that this will be something that you would like me to show you again in future. And if you'd like to leave a comment, I would be more than happy to answer your queries and questions.